You know, I was using all the same equipment, you know, the Shimano Curado, the Shimano Crucial rod, the Gamma line. I was using a rattle trap that was a little different though. I have a friend, Mike Squirra, who has a company, Color Me Fishing, and he does some incredible, you know, paint jobs on baits. And the bait we were fishing was actually a red bait, which is really popular in the spring. But it's kind of holographic. It had all kinds of flash, all kind of shine. Really a good bait. You know, there's times we've been on lakes like Newton and used silver or shad colored baits. But this little custom red bait really did the trick, you know, on this trip. Either that or I stopped reeling and I just hit ground. No, there he is. Oh. Well, that was a pike. And that was my trap. Luckily, I know the guy that paints these up. And I get a whole box of my buddy Mike Squirra. Does a real nice job on these. He calls this color the deal. Because he actually showed it to some of the pros at the Bassmaster Classic when they were in Chicago, and they all said, oh, there's the deal. So, let's see if we can tie in another one here. Well, it hasn't been a bad first hour or two. We got to the lake not knowing anything about it. Weather, big bad cold front coming through. I knew there was largemouth and smallmouth in the lake. I looked for warmer water. I pulled out two lures. I pulled out this rattle trap and a spinnerbait, you know, because they're both search lures. And I was hoping to find some cruising bass. We found an area that at least appears to have a little bit warmer water, and I think the fish are funneling through this bridge, you know, preparing to spawn in the back here. So as a first choice, I guess it wasn't a bad one. We're going to go, you know, up and back a couple times, and this ditch seems to be a kind of a crucial structure feature that the fish are using. I've gone back and forth a couple times and caught a couple fish every time. No reason to think it shouldn't get better, and if this weather stabilizes, I think bigger fish will start moving through here. You could probably camp out near this little hole and get them for a while. You know, a lot of times you're on lakes in, you know, Geneva and Delavan, Okauchee, and you see these big spawning bays, and you know the fish are going to spawn there. You know they're there when they're spawning, but you know they're in and out, and you can't really catch them at that time. At this lake, you know, on Big Green, there was this one little lake which kind of constricted the whole flow, and obviously the only way those fish were getting in and out of there was through this little slot. Usually because of current, you know, these bridges have little bitty, you know, holes underneath them. They're usually deeper water. And so, you know, in the past month, you know, from the time we had fished there, probably tens of thousands of bass had swam underneath, in and out of this place. Always a hot spot, no matter if you're on a bridge, reservoir, lake. You get something like that where those fish have to travel through there, you gotta fish it. A little better fish. Not bad. Well, we're still in our little backwater, but look, if it wasn't for the trailer hook, I wouldn't have this guy. We're still in our little backwater. I'll let this guy go. Beautiful. I mean, beautiful. First time on the lake, there's just a beautiful, if this is any indication what this lake's like, it's pretty awesome. But anyway, like I said, my theory is the fish are funneling through that little chute, trying to, you know, get ready to spawn back here. But there's been a big time cold front. The wind's just howling out of the north. And so this is the first set of broken down docks inside what would be the spawning area. And I thought if something did come through, maybe they would hold over here. And there was the first, you know, relatively bigger fish we've caught. So I'm going to work these docks. Maybe there'll be one more. And work this ditch a little bit more, and I think we're going to catch some fish.